what happened was when Crush It came out, I mean, I already met Gary prior to Crush It coming out. And, oh no, just at the beginning of Crush It. And we had a conversation. We became friends. He was on my podcast 10 years ago in 2009. Certainly, I was quite early on his work. And then when Crush It came out, we did a wrap-up video. Creative Content Agency, my business, did a wrap-up video on the Crush It launch. And then after Crush It was the Thank You Economy. And myself and my partner, Sujin, were like, should we do the book launch for the Thank You Economy? One thing led to another. I'd started a business. His business was growing. We didn't go in on it. And then when Jab, 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 Right Hook came out, we approached Gary and said, hey, I'd already interviewed him like maybe a couple of times at that point. And I was like, we'd love to launch the book. So I did a deal with Gary, which by the way is the easiest thing you can ever do. And you'll always make a return on your investment with him. So like I remember the first book launch we did with him, his PA had arranged like a 10-minute call with him. And 10 minutes in Gary's world is like watching Lord of the Rings. It's like a long time. I remember 3.5 minutes. He was like, what we doing? Da, 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 da. He was like, okay, cool. I'm happy to do that deal. I love you. Bye. And just hung up. And that was it. And we launched Jab, 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 Right Hook. And then the Ask Gary V book after that. And it was just to launch his book. Because for me, like I've never said this to anyone. This is crazy. I want to tell you about it. I wanted my friends to understand where my new philosophy in business was coming from. Which was once I started studying Gary, aside from my grandfather and my father, that's the most important, like most influential human being in my life. I won't even say man, like human. So and Jay-Z. And I start launching it because I want to bring the masses to Gary. So each time we did an event, we had 400 to 500 people there. But then there was this other effect, which I didn't factor in, which is that I bring Gary Vaynerchuk to the UK. I put him in front of 400 or 500 people twice. Brands, agency people, X, Y, and Z. Gary will leave stage, go to his bedroom, go to sleep, and in a few hours wake up and fly back to New York. He's raised the appetite for what he's talking about in my city. And if you can't get Gary, who are you going to come to? The guy who brought him to you. So that's how we made whereas on Vaynerworld itself, I didn't make a notable amount of money. Like money, but not like, let's build businesses off the back of it, build brands off the back of it. But the opportunities
that created for you in your business.
I can walk into any marketing agency in this city or any other A market city like London, New York, LA, and be like, I'm Raj Kotecha. These are my projects. My friends, your friends, OPP, Raj Kotecha podcast. Da, da, da. When they see that Vaynerworld, for a lot of people in the marketing world, they see that and they go, that is awesome. And that's my stripes. Like that's me putting numbers on the board.
I was going to say that is a great resume for you. Absolutely fantastic. Especially since his popularity has soared in recent years. I mean, he's seen as a bit of a king now, isn't he?
I'm around kings a lot. Like kings and queens. Like Dynamo, the magician from the UK, first started. We did a gig together in 2002, 2003 when he was just a hood guy rolling around with his crew doing street magic, right? Russell Peters, when he was doing 1,200 seats in King's Cross, we did an after party for him. And then when we did 3,000 seats at the Apollo, we did an after party for him then. It's like I feel it. I feel when someone's got something special.
Timing is crucial because if you'd approach Gary Vee now, all those opportunities that happened all those years ago probably would never have happened.
Yeah, but I'll say this. Gary's ticket price in Dubai right now is going to be in the ballpark of $250,000. You could do a deal with Gary right now to come and speak at your conference at $250,000. And in 2024, $250,000 will seem like a steal. It will. I spent about just over a fifth of that on one of the book launches, probably about 60K sterling.
Why don't you bring him to Dubai? I know he's already been here.
I'm not.
He was at the Sharjah Festival.
I'm not playing that game anymore.
Okay.
Like, would I? It's crazy because people are like, why don't you do something else with Gary Vee? I've already interviewed him 6 times. The fact that if I wanted to, I could get him on a phone call is worth way more to me than just having another stripe on my arm, which is interview number 6. Like, I've already done 6 interviews with him, and never mind the 6 interviews. What's crazy is the amount of times I've sat with him, aside from being on camera, like at dinners and things of that nature. That's the Gary Vee that I've never seen on camera before because he's the same person. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing he's hiding. But just like when it's just you and him or just you, him, and a few people around a table, that quality information that you get, and I got the 2009 version of that, 2009 version of that. the 2010 version, the 2000, I don't know, 11 and 13 and 16 and. So it's like, I've met Gary Vaynerchuk at different stages of Gary V and been given incredible game. There's things that dude has done for me that you wouldn't even believe. Like, you just wouldn't even believe. And not conscious, not like, here's a lead, here's a contact, hey, I'm Gary, Raj, you should meet this person. Nothing like basic that you would think. Just insight jewels, gems, nuances, little bits of pieces where we're at things and I'm just like,
do you have his number in your phone?
No.
Would you consider
No.
him? No.
I don't.
Okay.
But I can, and the thing is, that's one thing I revel in, the relationship with him and so many other people that people see me with. I don't necessarily have their number in my phone, but I have the access. I don't have Raekwon the chef from Wu-Tang Clan's number in my phone, but all of these people can get on the phone at any time, because I'm not going to be the kind of person who's like, yo, let's exchange numbers. And the reality is, if you exchange numbers with that person, that number might even change, like depending on how high up they are. It's not about the contact details, it's about the access. Do you know what I mean? Like, we have that shared history now, and if it's not Raekwon the chef, if it's not Gary Vaynerchuk, if it's not Dynamo, if it's not I don't know, Russell Peters, it's the fact that you can access those people. I know if I'm stuck right now, Russell Peters' brother is still, I consider, a mentor, like a very important mentor to me. I've got his number on my phone, and he's much more the kind of person where, because he's a business guy, I'll ring him and be like, I'm thinking about doing this. Would you please give me some advice? I've got 3 options. Can you help steer my mind as to what the better of the 3 will be?